Many thanks to Fatal Attraction Squad, One Original DayZ servers, Clash of Vanilla servers, Sgt. Pepper servers, Sea of Tools Cloud, We That Remain Roleplay, DayZ Sentinel servers, the Struggle Community, the Karma Crew servers, and DayZ Kraken leaderboards for making this video possible. DayZ 1.26 has changed the game when it comes to clothing installation, making being wet much more punishing this patch, to the point where taking off wet gear will actually make you warmer. So in this video we're going to be looking at how to get the most warmth out of our gear, which body parts we need to cover the most, and the best gear to protect you from being cold and being wet. The only gear that had their insulation values changed in this patch is the regular hunting vest and the Gorka and hunting gear. The regular hunting vest now gives 30% protection from the cold, down from 100% protection, and the new winter hunting vest is 100% instead, so the winter variant is 100, the regular one is 30. It's a similar story when it comes to the Gorka or patrol top and pants. Instead of 40% protection from Gorka or patrol gear, you now have a range of protection values based on their variant, so an overall buff here, as you can see. Hunting tops and pants have been nerfed though, with the winter variant being the only one that has the same protection as last patch, so 100%, with all winter variant items only being found on Sakau. The only other insulation changes are how bad insulation was renamed to worst insulation, and how much covering each of our body parts will protect us now. It's different from last patch. This is what it used to look like, now changing to this due to the new temperature system that was introduced this patch. So we want 100% piece of cold protection gear, such as the hunting winter pants for example, would give us plus 12 heat comfort value on this chart based on this body part multiplier, but if we equip the spring hunter pants, which give 50% cold protection instead, 50% of 12 would give us plus 6 heat comfort value. This is how they're translated into heat comfort value, with how much heat comfort value we get as a total being based on several different insulation factors. The most important insulation factor is the cold protection of the gear itself, visible in game and going from worst to best. So the winter hunter pants are here and the spring hunter pants are here. The second factor is the quality level of that gear, which remains unchanged from last patch. So the winter hunter pants are 100% and they will stay at 100% when they're pristine, because they lose 0%, but if they're badly damaged they will lose 50% of that 100% from earlier, changing the cold protection to 50% also, and indicated in game with displaying a medium insulation instead of best on this piece of gear. This means that spring hunter pants that are medium or 50% will also lose 50% if they're badly damaged, changing their cold protection to 25 instead, or low insulation in the game. The third and final factor is the moisture level of that piece of gear, which is much more punishing in this patch. In the last patch, a wet piece of clothing used to reduce our cold protection by 25%, now it has doubled to remove 50% of that insulation value instead, with soaked removing a huge 90% of the cold protection on that piece of gear, and a drenched piece of gear actually making you colder if you wear that piece of gear while it's drenched compared to taking it off. However, all gear in DayZ has a hidden maximum moisture level stat that limits how much moisture each piece of gear can absorb. For example, the new ski gloves introduced this patch, which offer 100% cold protection, has a maximum set here, so can only become damp at a maximum, and therefore can only lose 10% of its cold protection at a maximum too, even if completely submerged in water. Comparing this to wool gloves, which offer 100% cold protection too, their maximum moisture level is way up here, so they can potentially get drenched, turning that 100% cold protection into minus 115 if drenched, meaning it's better to take them off to stay warmer. All three of these factors combine together to output a final cold protection value for a piece of gear in a certain slot. So in the case of winter hunting pants that are badly damaged and they have the wet moisture level, they are at 100% cold protection here, as you can see, and then they're reduced by 50% for being badly damaged, and then another 50% is taken off because they're wet, resulting in 25% cold protection instead of this 100%. This works the same for all gear in DayZ, so if we put the wool gloves in here, which start at 100%, and let's say they're damaged, it reduces the cold protection to 80%, as 20% was removed by their damage, and then if we make them soaked, they will lose 90% of that remaining value, resulting in 8% cold protection, so just 10% of this remaining 80% was left. This 8% is then used by the body part multiplier number I showed you earlier to get the number it needs to adjust your heat comfort value in the game, or this temperature icon here. So 8% of the multiplier 4 on the glove slot items will give you 0.32, increasing your heat comfort value here by 0.32 2. Not much, but it is a positive effect nonetheless. Finally, let's say we have some badly damaged wet winter pants in this process, which again give us 25% cold protection after it's been processed by the 3 insulation factors, and then we combine it with a body part multiplier for pants, which is 12, so 12% of 25 is 3, so we get +3 to our heat comfort value, which would have been +12 if it was pristine and completely dry. A big difference for a single piece of gear, so keeping them repaired and dry is absolutely essential if you want to get the most out of them. Now that we understand how the new temperature system works and how gear combines with its temperature system, we can find the best gear to protect against the cold and being wet. Working from the head down, we have the Ushanka and the new Snowstorm Ushanka as the best cold protection in the game. Ghillie Hood is in 2nd place and the Sherpa hat is in 3rd place. All of these masks can be used with the headgear above, so the 3-hole balaclava is the best in the game, followed by the ski mask, and in 3rd place the NBC mask. For tops, the firefighter gear is best, but the winter hunting gear and the new bushlat jacket is tied in 2nd, with the winter hunting jacket being slightly better for how it's easier to find and more camo for the only map that it's found on, which is Sakau. The new winter vest is the best vest for warmth in the game. Plate is in 2nd place and the tactical vest is in 3rd, but considering that the vest slot will only give you 4% contribution to your heat comfort value, plate is best if you want damage protection too. The back slot item contributes the least at just 3%, so it's up to you on this, but the mountain bag is the only backpack that provides 100% cold protection and has a decent amount of slots too. For gloves, this patch we have the new best gloves in the game, which is the ski gloves. They're the new best gloves. Padded were the best last patch, now they're 2nd place, and the wool gloves are in 3rd if you keep them dry. The pants slot is similar to the top slot for best. Firefighter, winter hunting, and the chainmail is in 3rd, but the chainmail legs did have their slots reduced by half this patch. And finally we have shoes. Combat boots are the best, but military and hiking boots are not far behind when it comes to cold protection. So these 8 pieces of gear are scientifically the best pieces of gear to keep you warm in DayZ, but do take note that these are the best for cold protection when you keep them dry. So let's cover the best gear when you get it wet in rain, snow or water, starting with the best 3 head slot items. The new headdress is the best, chainmail coif is in 2nd, and the dirt bike or firefighter helmet is in 3rd, with the dirt bike winning due to its lower rarity. All these head slot items get damp at a maximum, so they only lose 10% of their cold protection even while you're swimming in freezing waters. They will offer you these protection values: 63, 58 and 45 cold protection even when you're swimming, meaning these numbers here represent the cold protection of the item when it's full of water. All gas masks can only get damp too, so any gas mask is going to be good against the rain, snow or water, so the NBC mask is the best of these 3. For tops, the firefighter jacket is in 1st again, making firefighter gear extremely desirable on maps like Sakau. Chainmail is in 2nd, offering damage protection too, and is not far behind firefighter gear. Then in 3rd we have the new bushlet jacket, offering 50% of its warmth when full of water because it can only become wet at a maximum. Damage protection vests are all in the top 3 spots, showing just how much of an all-arounder the plate carrier is, providing loads of damage protection, warmth and protection from water too, with the press vest and chest plate not far behind. Way out in front on backpacks is the craftable leather sack. This is the best backpack for swimming. Dry bags are in 2nd, and then the hunting or Hannah's hunting bag is 3rd. For gloves, there is a new King ski gloves, not only first for warmth, but also the best when it comes to being full of water and being warm at the same time, with padded gloves very far behind, and surprisingly, the NBC gloves are in 3rd. Pants again are the same or similar to tops, firefighter gear followed by medieval gear, with the chainmail legs offering the only damage protection for leg slot in the game. Then you have the new Gorka or Patrol Winter variant in 3rd. And finally for shoes, we have the combat boots, which are the best, making them without question the best footwear in the game because they have decent durability too, but the military boots and the jungle boots are not far behind. Now, I believe this gear is going to be best for the average player, as it means you can be lazy and not dry your gear, and even when you do need to dry your gear, you don't need to wait as long because this gear doesn't become nearly as wet as other gear in the game. But compared to this gear, you're not going to be as warm, so you need to decide which gear is best to fit your playstyle. From both the best cold protection and best water protection gear, it's clear that there's certain pieces of gear that are best in both cases, such as the NBC mask, firefighter gear, chainmail or medieval gear, the new bushlat jacket, winter hunting gear, the plate carrier vest, the new ski gloves and the combat boots. If you get this gear, keep it dry and repair it, your heat buff will last much longer and you'll need to make fireplaces much less often. To learn the other factors that make us colder or warmer in DayZ and know exactly what temperature icon means what, this video is an absolute must watch. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.